Hi, this is Sarah from Sassy Reads, and today I am talking about the books that I've read in 2016. For the next book that I'm talking about, it is Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone by J.K. Rowling and illustrated by Jim Kay. This was my first time rereading Harry Potter at the beginning of this year. I received this as a Christmas gift in 2015, and it was so much fun to reread Harry Potter for the first time. But not only that, I got to do it with pictures. I'm sure you've seen some of the illustrations in here before, and if you haven't, well, you're missing out because they're so freaking gorgeous. I absolutely loved rereading this with illustrations, and I think it enhanced my experience even more. Jim Kay is an amazing illustrator, and as you can see just like by the cover alone, it's so amazing and wonderful, and it's just so beautiful, and there's so much detail and love and effort into every single picture in this book, and I think that's what made it so special. And I definitely plan on reading this to my children because I think that this would be probably one of the best ways to introduce Harry Potter to young kids, and I'm just so happy that I have this in my collection. And then the next book that I read in 2016 is Mere Christianity by C.S. Lewis. This was originally a broadcast that was put on by the BBC. I think it was either during or after World War II, and it was a way for Lewis to unite the people after all the horror that had been going on with the war. It really dehumanized humanity for a very long time, and it was hard for a lot of humans to find any good left in the world, and so Mere Christianity was a broadcast that Lewis put on in hopes of uniting more people. Lewis was originally an atheist man, and he talks about his atheist background and when he eventually realized that he wasn't an atheist, because to be an atheist means that you can't actually believe in good and evil, because good and evil is God, and it's really interesting. If you want to learn more about Christianity, I highly recommend this. It does get a little clunky at times, and I feel like it would have been better to have listened to it as an audiobook, because that's what it was originally intended for. But I learned so much from this, and it really helped me spiritually grow, and it was a wonderful read. I gave it 4.25 stars just because I feel like it did get a little clunky at certain parts, and there were certain values and aspects that I feel like are a little old, and I'm a little bit more of a liberal Christian, but not like severely liberal, so there are some things that Lewis talks in here that I don't fully agree with, but then there are some things that I do agree with. So there's that. I do highly recommend it. I'm actually hoping to read more Lewis within the upcoming years. And then the next book that I read was The Metamorphosis by Franz Kafka. I read this for my AP English class, and the thing about this book is like half of my little tiny copy is not even the actual text. This is all of the Metamorphosis. That's how big it is. It is very, very tiny. It's only 55 pages. I love the Metamorphosis. It's about a man named Gregor Samsa who wakes up one morning and he is a cockroach. And he doesn't know why he's a cockroach, but it's really interesting to see how the family reacts to Gregor no longer being the ideal man for their home. He brought in the bacon, as the famous term says, and he was pretty much the sole provider for the home, and without him providing, this family begins to hate him even more. It's really interesting. I feel like it's a really good social commentary, and I saw it as a look into the societal machine and how we constantly just keep working and working, and when something like this comes up where you can no longer work and contribute to society, you're condemned, and eventually you die. And I mean, that's depressing as hell, but it's Kafka, and Kafka was known for being an existentialist, so this makes perfect sense when you think about it. And I give this one 5 stars. Highly recommend it. It's super short. I really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun analyzing this and discussing it in my AP class, and I would actually really love to reread this one, so maybe one day I'll get to it again. And then I read A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness, illustrated by Jim Kay. This was originally an idea inspired by Siobhan Dowd. Yes, Siobhan Dowd, but she sadly passed away before she could write this. Recently, it's a movie with, I think, Jack Nicholson, and I'm really excited to go and see that. The illustrations in here are so beautiful. They're so bleak and dark and chilling, and I just, oh God, look at it. It's so beautiful. I read this story and it touched my soul so profoundly. It made me cry, and it's a beautiful story. I definitely recommend it for younger readers. Even my sister loved it. It's beautiful. I give it 5 stars. It's one of those stories that I feel like all children should read, because at some point in their life they're going to experience the loss of a loved one and that grief and anger that comes with losing a loved one. I had kind of wished that I had read this one a few years ago when I lost my grandfather, because I feel like it would have helped me in that time a little bit more, because I was very angry like the boy in the story, so I really understood how he felt. And I definitely recommend this. It's one of those books that I think will become a staple for children for many years to come. And those are just some of the books that I read in 2016, and I'll see you in my next video. Let me know if you've read any of these books down below, and I'll see you soon. Bye.